Welcome to Voiced. Today's post is from subreddit True Off My Chest by Oddacadia1435, and it is about the challenges faced by a husband whose wife insists on a strict 9 p.m. bedtime, leading to feelings of disconnect and frustration in their marriage. My wife claims she needs to sleep at least 12 hours a day to feel well rested. This was something that I thought was an exaggeration while we were dating, but after we moved in together, I quickly realized was 100% true. My wife works a remote job from home, which means that she wakes up at 9 a.m. every morning, just barely enough time for breakfast before she clocks in at 9:30. She works 8 hours plus a mandatory 1-hour lunch break, where she speed eats her lunch and goes back to work ASAP. That means she clocks out at 6:30 p.m. She makes a point to shower every day, and since she has no time to do it in the morning, she does it after work. That usually means that she's done with everything at around 7:15. By this time, I've already arrived home and begun preparing dinner. She usually joins me to give me a hand, and we normally begin eating at around 8. After finishing eating and cleaning up, it's usually about 20 minutes to 9, where my wife will finally decide to partake in one of her hobbies, usually reading, or watch or play something with me. This is the best part of my day. However, this doesn't ever last long enough, since by 9 p.m. my wife will invariably claim she's tired and needs to go to bed. This means that I get around 15 to 20 minutes per day of hanging with my wife, which I do not feel is enough. But this is only one of the many issues this creates. She pressures me to go to bed at the same time she does, claiming it would be weird otherwise for a married couple, and that me not doing so is the reason we don't have much sex. I have tried to disprove her theory by going to bed at 9 p.m. as well, and sure enough, she's always too tired or minutes away from falling fast asleep. We're falling into a dead bedroom, and I believe that resentment might be setting in. I get sick if I go to bed that soon after dinner. I have a crappy stomach, and my digestion will almost stop if I go to bed after eating a meal. Terrible reflux as well. I just don't want to go to bed at 9. Period. 9 is the time of my day where I'm finally free from responsibility and can wind down and do what I want. I don't want to wait for the weekend to be able to do that. I don't want to be miserable for 5 days a week, only to try and squeeze a few hours of fun in between all the chores that need to be done. About weekends, she keeps her sleep routine. This means that late-night outings are out of the question, unless a rare surge of energy happens. There is also not that much time for fun, because the weekend is usually when we tackle the huge backlog of chores that accumulated during the week. About communication. I've tried to communicate to my wife that I need to be awake between at least 9 to 10:30 so I can do stuff I enjoy. I tell her that if she needs sleep, then she at least needs to be okay with the idea that I'll be in the living room doing something else. She has a few strong ideas about this, which leave me frustrated. She believes that there are no such things as night owls and early birds, and that sleep patterns are 100% controllable. She also claims she doesn't need to adjust hers, as she's convinced she sleeps a healthy amount of time and that everyone else should be doing the same as her. I often tell her that she pretty much sleeps and works. That's all she does. She has ADHD and hyper-focuses on her work, but her productivity is subpar, meaning she usually takes much longer than normal to complete her tasks, probably due to her struggles with attention. This is a common source of anxiety for her. I also believe she might be burned out, as again, she does nothing else in her awake time but work. At this point, I'm at a loss on what to do. I just don't want to lose the love of my life and best friend to what I consider an incompatible sleep pattern. Edit. I was quite surprised to see how much attention this got. Thank you so much to everyone who gave advice. You've told me things I'd never considered before, and it just might change my life and my wife's health. I'll look into sleep studies and any possible mental physical issues that might be affecting her. To answer some common questions. Why did you marry into this? Did you not know how she was like? We both lived with our respective parents before marriage. While dating, she would usually suggest dinner dates for around 7 and ask me to drive her home around 9. We did have sex while dating, but we hated car sex and hotels were getting expensive. We spent most of our relationship talking about getting married, so we'd have all the privacy and intimacy we'd want. Living together before marriage never even crossed our minds, which I probably attribute to our somewhat traditional upbringing. Why does she speed eat if she has a mandatory break? She uses her break to catch up on work. She rarely cooks lunch. Instead, we cook an extra portion the night before for her lunch. Why don't you just stay up and let her go to sleep? Because I'm starved for her affection, and her recent comments about sex have me following her like a carrot on a stick. I'm aware this is beyond pathetic at this point. Is she medicated for ADHD? Not yet, but she's been looking into getting an appointment for that. Is this fake rage bait AI trolling? I wish. This is obviously a throwaway account, and I did change a few minor details and withheld ages, but this is an accurate depiction of what our lives are like. Wow, this situation really highlights how much our daily habits and routines can impact our relationships. It's clear that both partners have their own needs, but balancing those needs can be tough. Your desire for more quality time and her insistence on sleep seems to be clashing in a way that's genuinely affecting both of you. I can see the frustration on both sides, especially when it comes to intimacy and personal space. It's great to hear you're open to exploring solutions and advice from the Reddit community. Communication is key, and finding a mediator or professional to help address these sleep pattern differences might be beneficial. For those watching, what do you think? How would you approach a situation like this? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Voiced. If you enjoyed daily high-quality stories, please like and subscribe to show your support.